Eddie, don't be a dick.
I will because I have one.
Whose topic is it tonight?
Mine.
Boy, does that mean I'm next?
I don't know. I always have to look at the website.
I know.
I
me
never
too.
remember the order after fucking 10 years or whatever.
How long have we been
Yes,
doing
Ashtray is next, and then me. And then Teddy, and then Oracle, and then Ashtray, then me.
On this episode of the Red Eye Report, we talk about motels. What's the deal with sketchy ass motels? Well, there's a bit of history behind them that explains a lot.
You don't say.
Yep. With me tonight is the always knock 3 times Ashtray. He made the mistake of opening the door after 2 knocks once and ended up with a bad case of hepatitis. Hey,
Doesn't really ever go away.
Still calls me today.
Yep. Hey, at least it was a fun night. We also have Wigwam Motel Mystic. If you ever find yourself driving through Arizona on Route 66, look for the giant white teepee. Make sure you bring an offering, though. What happens to those that don't is still a mystery, and Mystic isn't telling.
Is the teepee his medical robe?
Jesus, dude. Why are you
I'm an
so
asshole.
mean to me?
I am. I'm sorry, Mystic.
Because you
You are
deserve it. That's
so
why.
mean to me.
Because you deserve it.
I'm being
I don't
ableist.
deserve that.
You do.
Oh, you did.
Next to him, we have Tin Can Teddy. Motherfucker leaves his goddamn tin cans wherever he goes.
Because I can. America, motherfucker.
Because he's got a group of scrappers that follow him around like he's the fucking Grateful Dead.
I'd prefer them to follow me around like I was fish. But hey.
Finally, there's me, Oracle. My motel rule is if there's a bullet hole in the glass at the checkout desk, I'm probably too drunk to make a decision to go anywhere else. So, fuck it. And once again, I find myself too drunk to go anywhere else. So, this is the Red Eye
Okay.
Report. Recently, I drove from the great state of
Pause
Rhode
for the
Island.
cause.
Oh, pause for the cause. That's right.
Oh, yeah.
That's right. Pause for the cause.
Pause for the
Our
cause.
weekly benefit event for the local animal shelter.
Yep.
Yeah, right.
They don't actually get anything. We just say
Yeah.
for the animal shelter.
Right.
It's still in their honor.
It is. It is.
Teddy, where are you
What an
at?
honor it is.
He just disappears.
Yeah.
He's like, oh
that's
yeah,
what
my
goes on
volcano's
here.
in the basement.
I'm right here. Okay. Fuck all you guys.
Well, give us a warning before you leave. We
Right.
actually care
I
about.
muted myself, so I didn't have to hear anything.
Unlike the man.
All right, we're pause for the cause. We're doing it.
Oh, I
I
gotta
did.
be
I
pause.
took a pause for the cause and you said it.
Well, off camera
Okay,
doesn't count.
multiple pauses for the cause. So I
So many
recently
pauses.
took a road trip from the great state of Rhode Island to Wisconsin and back. And as I was driving, I actually don't mind doing that drive. I like being out on the road, seeing all the, all the shit, stopping at fucking
Yeah.
restaurants and stuff like that.
When you
and-
got the time to enjoy it, yeah.
Right. And, I'm seeing, as you do, as you're driving around, you see fucking motels, you see hotels and all these things along the
Holiday
interstate.
Inns.
Right. And it got me wondering, it's like, what's the deal with motels? Like, what,
What's the deal?
yeah,
with
what's
motels?
the deal? So, like, why
Tell us, Jerry.
is there a divergence, or why was there a divergence from the motel to the hotel?
And what's
Oh,
yeah?
yeah.
Are we gonna know the difference? Can you tell us the difference? I don't know that I've
I,
ever.
I mean,
Always-
really, I'm a 41-year-old
Yeah.
man and I have no
Mhm.
idea what the
Right.
difference of a
Yeah.
motel
Yeah.
is.
I made up a difference in my head was that the motels were the cheaper ones and the hotels were the higher
I
price
think
ones.
I think
Sorry?
motels means motorway.
Oh, well, yes, it definitely comes from that. And a motel, by
Shit, really?
definition, means that you generally can get into your room from the parking lot.
I'm going off camera. I'll be right
There's a
back.
main courtyard area where you can get into your room. Also, it's like a couple levels, 2, maximum 3 levels. Whereas a hotel, you go into the building, they've got the elevators and all that shit. So that's kind of the difference between a modern motel and a hotel.
Gotcha.
So motels were actually the direct kind of thing that happened
Hotel.
after the Model T was invented, and Americans were able to drive around, and they needed places to stay.
Oh shit, honey, we went too far.
Right. But before that, so the first Model T rolled off the line in 1908, and back then it cost $825, which even back then was a decent deal. But before motel, there weren't accommodations, so there were just these colonial places to stay. There wasn't like, you're driving down
Boarding
the interstate.
houses, I guess. Like, I don't know, or
Yeah.
hostels back then.
Well, I don't know if they were hostels. I mean, they were
Churches.
Right. I mean, they were not what we know today. It was pretty
Chicken coops.
chicken coops. And back then, when people got in their cars, they actually would drive out and they would camp. That would be the thing that they would do. They would find land that they could camp on, and there were like I saw some stuff where people are saying like, hey, if there isn't a trespassing sign, then you can fucking stay there. And so as people were starting to do this, the different communities would start to put some basic accommodations in, like back in the early 20s. They would put stuff outside of town, because even back then these places were a little sketchy, because there were, all these transient people were going through. So they would put stuff out of town. It would have, beds and things like that people could get. Then in the early 1900s, 1914, they actually started doing rustic cabins. So these were kind of like, actual buildings that you could stay in. They were still, very sparse
Rustic.
and very rustic in what they had, and people were going there. And this was moving along, things were progressing, and then World War II hit with the motel. So when World War II hit, there were people couldn't travel a lot because rationing gas, rationing all these other materials and stuff. So traveling wasn't as easy, and that industry kind of slowed down during the 1940s as that went on. So the first motel was after
Mojo.
the
Motel
after-
1.
after the interstate highway was created in 1956. This really exploded, Americans' ability to travel around freely around the country. And the first motel, and it
This
is
is in 1956. It took
19
that long for the first motel?
1956, yes. 1950. So,
The movie Psycho. The Bates Motel.
mm-hmm.
When did that come out?
I
Let's
don't
say,
know.
I think motels have been around longer than that, haven't they?
Psycho came out in 1960 something.
Yeah. So,
All right, maybe they were a new thing, I guess.
right. So the
Sorry, Ashley,
1950s,
shut the fuck up.
right? The 1950s, they started really with the motels that we kind of know today,
What we know today.
and it was in San
see.
Luis Obispo, California, and these were along the interstates. People could stay at these places, but quickly, as the popularity went up, the big chains swooped in order to take advantage
Always do.
of that
So did
industry.
Hotel California really mean Motel California?
Possibly. So in
So
19
the big chains, what, like Best Western and Motel 6.
Right.
Oh, Joe, Howard Johnson.
Right.
Keep the
So
light on for
in
you.
1964, there were upwards of 61,000 independent motels across the United States. So that was really kind of the boom period. By 2012, that number had dwindled to just 16,000 motels.
Oh,
So it really
And I bet
really
you they're all Motel 6s because they leave the light on, right?
right. And
Yep.
it really cut back on it. Now there has been a resurgence in the motel industry because there's kind of the your corporate chains or whatever, and the motel, they're trying to make like a unique experience. They have like a theme or whatever, and some of the motels. Let's bring this up on the screen here. Some of the motels that are holdovers from back then. The Wigwam Motel where Mystic hangs out.
The
it's
Wigwam.
these giant wigwams. This one's in Arizona off of Route 66. Dog Bark Park. It's like these giant dog things. They're tacky.
Was it
Tacky as
dedicated to
shit.
Seuss?
Red Caboose in Philadelphia.
Oh yeah, I'm sure people are like, hey baby, you want to get rammed in the caboose?
So these motels are kind of hot spots. They're not the sketchy type. There's this one actually in the Clown Motel where it's filled with clown dolls. If you're into that.
Oh, that's weird.
Right.
I'm good.
Why would you be into that?
Right. But there was this
Why not?
one in
It's
Wisconsin.
terrifying.
I wanted to ask you guys if you had ever seen this or gone there. The Don Q Inn. Have you heard of that? It's in Dodgeville.
Oh.
I think I played a wedding there at there's like a side reception hall. But I've never actually stayed there.
Mm-hmm.
That's a motel too? Oh, no wonder.
Yeah, it's a
I was like,
motel.
what is this big fucking building?
Right. So those are kind of like the throwback themed motels, but a lot of motels that I know of that I've ever stayed at
that I've ever left a stain in.
Right, are sketchy as shit. So, and that really comes, they are less expensive. They tend to be less expensive. They don't ask a lot of questions, right? And they are really good places if you want to kill, a bunch of hookers or whatever.
There's only a door and a plate glass window separating you from death.
Right. So, I mean, just looking up like notorious motels, here's this one in Atlantic City where they were closing them down, but you just read about some of the things. They found 4 prostitutes like arranged behind the motel, and there were multiple homicides out there. When the cops would go out to there was this one thing where they were searching for somebody, and actually they ended up getting into like a gunfight behind the fucking motel. I mean, it's just like it's sketchy as shit.
You said they were closing them down. Is this one still open or is it
No,
closed?
this one isn't still open. This one was killed by or destroyed by flood damage. But I guess that leads me to my next. The only difference, between a hotel and a motel, hotel is kind of like an enclosed building. Motel is, you can go into your room from kind of like a common courtyard. But the motel that I stayed at, I've stayed at a few motels. I tend not to unless if I'm in like a real pinch. But I remember going to a motel in Anaheim after being at a concert. I don't even know what the concert was. I was fucking wasted. I got there, and they have bulletproof glass, at the front desk. There was a hole in the fucking glass, a gunshot in the glass. And
see that's a sign that my blackness would not let me continue. I can't go in. I just can't.
So I'm curious, like, have you guys been in some sketch ass motels or hotels, and where those places were?
Oh yeah.
Okay, yeah.
There's the well, actually both of these are from Buke. Actually, I was just looking up on Google here. Let's see if I can. There we go. I put it in the outline towards the end.
Is that
The
the
old
Johnny
no shit Motel 6 was at the I was DJing a wedding in Dubuque, and friend of the bride helping me load my gear up and made it very apparent, or no, this is before I actually loaded my gear up. Some point made it apparent that we were going to a hotel, but there was some sort of like boys state basketball game or some shit like that going on, so everything was booked. And bless her heart, she sat in the stairwell there on the phone calling all these different places to find her room, and it ended up being the Motel 6. They left the light on for us.
Get it? Was that when you met me in Dubuque, or is it?
No, that was years before.
Okay.
But that's like my one, like, get a motel at the end of the night romp kind of story. And the other one was let me see if I can find it. It was called the fuck. It had this great weird
Weird and wild stuff.
this old, like, kind of art deco hotel down in Dubuque. Fuck, blank on the name of it. We stayed there for a friend's wedding, and it had this, like, the old glass stuff. It looked like it was straight out of the 60s still. The glass, is that called glass tile? The blocks, like in the bathrooms and stuff. It had those around it. Which had the rainbow bar, which had full-on karaoke with, like, it looked like this crazy thing out of the 70s where a lot of cocaine was done here, with, like, Christmas lights up in the ceiling and shit. So it was like this kind of weird old, like, like, slightly gay karaoke bar in downtown Dubuque. And then the rest of the hotel was like one of those where you could tell there was a number of these people were like I think these still were like flop houses, to where it's like, yeah, they live there. And so, like, just kind of hanging out in the lobby. Like, people got a little, like, Parkinson shake to them or whatever. And they got that wobble, and it's like, yeah, hey, how's it going? I mean, the place was clean, but the bathrooms were really kind of industrial like. And I guess just made for really easy cleaning. The interior was straight out of like a 1965 Good Housekeeping magazine. A lot of deep beiges and stuff like that. And you guys talk about your sketchy ones. Let's see if I can find a picture of it.
So Travis said the Canfield or Canfield?
That's it, Canfield. The Canfield Inn.
Why does Travis know about this?
Because he was
Did y'all, like,
it was his
train some bitch there or something?
Was it his wedding? Ask him. Travis was
it his wedding?
Was it your wedding, Travis?
Was it your wedding, Travis?
I think it was Travis's wedding. I was drunk at the time. It was a trip though, like in time.
Actually, probably the worst one that I went to. Carolyn and I were flying back to Rhode Island from Florida, and there was a storm, and our flight was delayed, and we had to stay in Charlottesville, North Carolina, and it was chaos at the fucking airport, and everybody's flight was canceled. So we had to find a place. It took us forever to find a place. We had to go way away from the airport. We finally get to this place, and we're trying to check in, and there is just this crackhead white woman working behind the desk that is like methed out. She doesn't know what's going on. People are trying, like corporate types and shit are trying to check in. And the woman, she tries to like print off the dude's receipt and the printer doesn't work. She freaks out and starts beating the fucking printer like with the keyboard. I mean, she's just so cracked out. Fuck? Oh my God. We go into the room. I don't know how we didn't get bed bugs. This place was so fucking dirty. It was ridiculous. And that's the thing though, like motels, in my experience, the motels are not that much cheaper than a cheap hotel. Honestly, that's my experience. I don't know what you guys.
Yeah, you know, it's I don't know if it's people just use them for the character or for the discretion. Right. I found the Canfield Inn front. This is a good picture from Google. What's its face? Streets. We put it in the outline. Look at that place. The Rainbow Karaoke Lounge. That's.
Oh, I see. Okay. Let me bring
that gives you kind of an idea of what just how old this place was. But it's right. You know, it's still. Like it wasn't surprisingly like it wasn't falling apart like, you know, with like leaky ceilings and shit like that.
Mm-hmm.
But it definitely was a time capsule.
Right.
Okay, so I have my first experience with a motel was a first wife. I am very spoiled. I am not used to staying in like less than 4-star hotels. Even now, I won't
and Disney World.
In Disney World, yeah. People pay for it. Hey, reparations. But we were in Colorado, and we were flying out of Denver. We were visiting her family in Loveland and some other place. So we were in Denver for like a day and a night. But the in-laws paid for it. The Iowa in-laws, they paid for it. And it was kind of like a motel, and I pretty much had to stay up all night because my wife, like it was one of the few times that she accepted my smoking, because I would sit outside the room and smoke, and all it was, like I said, was a door and a plate glass window, and so you had to.
And she had to stay up so no one came in.
Yeah, she's so paranoid that, you know, I'm like yeah, some crackhead can break. I'm like, why would a crackhead break in our room? I'm like, we're not that important. We're catching the flight tomorrow morning.
Crackheads only go for important people.
I mean, really, I'm like, you're not that
crackhead breaks in. Oh, it's just another black guy.
I mean, really. I mean, right. It's not. We're not that important.
That's funny.
So that's mine. Yeah.
Mystic, you stay at any fucking sketch ass places?
Not really. I'm not cheap.
Mystic never travels.
Yeah, I agree with Ashley. He never travels.
That's true.
I'm sure he has back in the day. Back when you were crazy and used to headbutt people, I'm sure you had some stories.
Really, right. Yeah.
Right about the hotel.
We also stayed in a hotel, and it did not. The pictures on the website did not match up to the hotel. We got.
So you're like, are we at the right place?
Right. So we got sent to a better hotel.
Wait, what'd you do? Like show them on your phone? Like, this is not
I didn't
this.
Do shit. She pulled a Karen and bitched about the hotel in the hotel room. We got sent to a better hotel from the same.
Wait, you got sent to a better hotel or a better room?
A better hotel. We got sent to a new hotel.
Oh, a
Wow.
whole new hotel. Damn.
A whole new hotel. And
Did they
same
take you a shuttle too?
Shit, it was a long time ago. I believe we
You know, it's,
we drove down to Florida, so I'm pretty sure we drove.
you know, in the
to that hotel.
so let me guess. It was one of those like, we'll take you to the better Best Western. This isn't
Yeah,
this
pretty
isn't
much-
the
yeah, pretty
bestest
much, yeah.
Western. This is
Oh,
the
yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
this is second best
It was
Western.
like,
We'll
instead
take-
instead of we
Second
went from
best
a
Western.
we went
Right.
from a Holiday Inn to a Hilton kind of thing.
so
Same chain.
yeah, boy, it makes you wonder. Like, yep, we've got this
It's
stamp.
probably
You
because
know,
they didn't want to deal with you.
oh yeah, it's like we're gonna send you up to the Hilton.
Didn't wanna
Fucking
deal
put the
with her.
stamp on you. Like, here's some Karens.
Yeah.
Have fun with them.
I mean, I think this would have been a lot different before Google, right? Like, as we're on the road, you know, we kind of get to a point where, like, okay, we need a place to stay. Carolyn starts looking up places, and you can see the reviews. Before you could see the reviews, you know, it's kind of a crapshoot, right?
Yeah.
You just see whatever you see,
You're
and that's what
driving
you
by.
get. Right.
Hey, that one's got cable.
Yeah, I never do that. I never do that. And honestly, like the Hyatt. We stayed down in Tennessee at the Hyatt, which was really good, fucking great,
That Hyatt sucked.
dude. It
I-
was
when I
fucking
saw-
awesome.
It was not awesome.
All
When I
right.
saw where we stayed, I was like, "This cheap." It's in Brentwood. The area that it's in, and the quality of that hotel was shit.
Okay,
It was
dude.
fucking shit.
I thought Ashtray was dead on his bed.
Yeah, you did.
He
He had
wouldn't
to break
wake
into his
up.
room.
I
Yeah.
He had
called
to
the
break into his room.
right. I called the front desk. The dude came up and he was cool about it. He opened the
Yeah.
door. He's like, he's on the bed, and he fucking left. He didn't ask
Oh.
any questions. He didn't
Well,
fucking
that
do
and like
anything.
he actually got someone to help him.
Right.
Like,
Right.
what if I was dead?
Right.
You want to plausible
If you were in a sketch-
deniability. That's why
If
you
it
didn't
was
ask
a
any
real shit
questions.
hotel, like they would have just left Oracle to have to bang on the door.
The area
Right.
it was a shit hotel.
Right.
It was.
Well, I thought it was nice. So there you have it. Motels. It's a holdover
Motels.
from the old days of driving around, and then the big chains, big corporate, big fucking hotels took over.
Fucking assholes.
Right.
Shit.
Have before you enter there, any of you seen that Netflix? I think it's Netflix. About that hotel in
Oh.
L.A.
Hotel
where the
Cecil.
girl, yeah, Hotel Cecil, where the girl
Mhm.
fell in the water tank.
Right.
That's worth checking out. For like a weird kind of flop house place.
Right.
I will say honorable mentions. After you all told me about the hotel with that crazy white guy in Chicago, had the crazy rooms and shit that kill people. I have not been able to sleep in hotels.
In any hotel,
Most hotels,
especially the Holiday
Disney
Inn.
hotels.
You take me to
Disney
the Hyatt,
hotels.
goddammit.
I mean, really.
You think there's a Disney hotel fucking serial killer or what?
I don't know. I don't trust white people because of you. That's all I'm about to say.
Oh, it's our fault. Well, we are
Yes,
white,
it
I
is.
guess.
There you are.
All right.
Don't blame you.
Moving on to the What's Sexy part of the show, where we tell you what's sexy. Teddy doesn't have anything in the
I
outline.
do have something, you fucking liar. And it's a new Splinter Cell coming out from Ubisoft.
Oh yeah, I saw
The
that.
original one came out in 2002.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a big Ubisoft whore. I love all their games. I played the.
cool.
It is super cool, and the fact that you don't respect the super coolness means you're a bitch. Okay.
That's super coolness.
Super cool.
Anyway,
This must be
I'm
respected.
very excited about it. I have been playing the latest one, the last one that came out, Blacklist, on the 360. You can download it on your Xbox One or your
Is
Xbox
that,
Series
is that
X
the
or S.
one where you can like tag the enemies and it's more
Yes,
action?
the first one that came out. Conflict was the first one that came out, and you can do that.
Mhm.
And but it's also you can tag. It's a great way. It's kind of like a stealth run and gun mix, and they did a very good job of it.
Mhm.
Quit lying.
I feel. I'm not lying. I'm telling fucking facts. This is science, Mystic. Respect it. God damn it. I'm
I don't
tired
believe
of
It's
this
the
it's
science of
I'm
video
tired of
games.
this shit.
I don't
God
believe
damn
in
it,
fucking
man.
science.
Think about all that.
So I'm
If you really think about all the
Three-
effort that goes into video games and stuff, if like all that collective power was spent maybe trying to fucking cure some diseases or
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Fusion.
They
Dude,
spent
Shut
so
up,
much
Ash.
money on so many other fucking dumb
But it also
things.
I
it
know,
also
you're right.
proves how okay. So this also proves how old I am. The original first game came out on the original Xbox in 2002. Okay, it's now 2021. Okay,
Mhm.
19 years later, I'm waiting for the newest iteration of this game.
Right.
And
Rehashing the old
Right?
shit.
Oh, it's
Well,
just
I wouldn't
so
say rehashing old shit. I
it's
would say
touching and nostalgic in the same moment.
yeah, exactly. I can't believe I'm agreeing with Ashtray.
It just means you wish you were still 12. That's really all that
Yeah.
means.
No, I don't wish I was still 12.
I want the
I'm
feelings of being
optimistic.
12.
I'm optimistic on what an old genre or an old IP can be made better with the technology the games have.
What are we talking about?
We're talking about Splinter Cell, the
Splinter
newer.
Cell.
I'm fucking
God damn
with
it.
you, dude. God damn it.
All right. Next up, we have Ashtray with the Mars Sample Return Campaign.
Yeah, you motherfuckers hear about this
Nope.
Mars
No,
sample return campaign?
But you're gonna tell us, I'm sure.
Damn right, I'm gonna tell you. The Mars sample return campaign.
This looks serious.
So this is part about this. The Perseverance mission in Mars is like the first step, but this is like they're still in the process. They're working on this right now. What I realize is they've got on the Perseverance rover they got up there driving around. It's got 43 of these containers to take core samples and shit, scraping up Mars rock, digging in some dirt, scooping it up, and then
up Mars
it's-
rock, bro.
it's gonna fire them. So then right now they're designing this, and you see this video. This is gonna be one of the heaviest landers they've ever developed. So they're building in like fucking shock arms and stuff. They're basically landing a mobile rocket launcher.
So
Fucking Perseverance.
the rover right now is scraping it up, and then this
Yep.
thing is going to take it back?
Yep. So the rover is like packing up these cells. It's going to load it into this container, and then this whole device is going to land. This is basically going to be like a mobile rocket launcher. And you can see in these tests, it's got. So instead of trying to like basically let's land a rocket platform, and when you're trying to shoot a rocket, you don't really know what if it's going to be sideways on a rock or something. The thing is a rocket trying to launch from a stationary platform, it could tip over. So they're working on this thing, as you saw in the video. They're actually like popping the rocket up in the air, where there's basically like they shoot it up out of the base right as it ignites, and then it takes off. So they've proven with these tests, anyways, in theory, that they're going to be able to. They're going to load that motherfucking rocket up. It's like 9-foot long rocket, fire it off of Mars, and then it's going to circle around to a goddamn satellite up in
Sounds like a Jerry Bruckheimer movie.
I know.
Damn.
Around Mars, you see they're taking apart this big, heavy fucking they're doing this test for this thing that they're going to load up with the samples. It's going to be super hermetically sealed, NASA approved, and then rocket that thing back to Earth. Now, I don't know where they're expecting it's going to land, but they're basically designing it so it can just do a hard impact into Earth.
What could go wrong?
Yeah, right? What could go wrong? Mars viruses. Got the
Right.
fucking
What could
Mars bumps.
possibly go wrong?
Next up, we have me with Tomb Raider. So, Tomb Raider, I picked up the trio of the new games on the cheap for Black Friday, and
Ooh.
the original
Where'd you get
Tomb
their
Raider.
Steam or?
No, on
You
Xbox.
mean Uncharted Raider?
Pretty much, but Tomb Raider has its own shit going on. And the original Tomb Raider, I was impressed. On the Series X, Series S, PS5, it actually gets an FPS boost up to 60 frames per second. On the PS5 and the Series X, it gets a 4K upgrade. And it looks great, and it plays great. It's an excellent game. So if you can get these games on the cheap, I would highly recommend it if you're into Uncharted at all. if you played the game back in the day, even and you've got the new consoles, I would definitely recommend checking it out because it totally stands up. I was surprised at how good the game actually plays and looks. It's really good. The FPS boost is really cool, and it's got Dolby Vision support on the Series X, so better than HDR10, which is really nice. And yeah, I would highly recommend it. It's a good game. I like the series. I hope they make more. They said they were going to take a break or whatever, but it's a badass series.
Can they send rocks from Mars?
They can't.
I'm one of the people like
Amateurs.
Oracle who owned both systems, so you had the chance to play both Uncharted and the Tomb Raider.
You bragging?
No, I'm not bragging, but for those people who are only on Xbox, it is a joke when I said like a Uncharted Raider or whatever, but it is a good way. The set pieces of that game are pretty cool. Some of the things you do,
Yeah.
It's a good video experience. Kind of like a rebirth of that IP on a.
Yeah, in that
What-
first Tomb
Sonic
Raider, the combat's actually pretty fucking intense on the first Tomb Raider. I'm playing through the second one right now. You've got more skills, but you kill a lot of
Pay the
fucking
bills.
people in the first Tomb Raider. Like Lara's like, oh, I can't
In
do
a lot of the
anything,
games.
and then she's just murdering like
anything, just murder.
thousands of fucking people. It's cool.
Right.
So if you
Game
can get it
wouldn't
on
be
sale,
fun if there's morals involved.
right? Next up, we have Mystic with Rust Valley Restorers.
So I thought this show was done. It was on Netflix for 3 seasons. And then it never came back, and now it's on Motor Trend. So, probably got canceled and they picked it up. But I've always liked this one because it's basically just watching fucking Canadian rednecks. Like, just do crazy, stupid shit. Like, like dumb shit. Like, that they shouldn't be doing. So, waiting for a big accident, hoping and praying. No, it's fun to watch. They don't do normal like cars and shit, or some of them don't, which is cool to watch. Plus, there's different shops. It isn't like one shop. There's like 6 different ones around this whole valley that they kind of like bounce around to and shit.
Yeah, this dude with the dreads.
Dude's like the dirtiest human being
Right?
on the face of the planet. That dude, I bet you, has a cure for COVID in his body.
Where do they
Like, he
find these
fucking-
people?
The
That
internet.
dude with the dreads, he actually is a certified rock blaster. That's how he
Rock
made all his money. He
blaster.
owns a construction company in British Columbia. So like he can
Oh.
use dynamite and shit like that. You know
So
what I
he's
mean?
like a demolition
C4, fucking
or,
demolition guy. Yeah.
Hmm.
Like actually in the episode I just watched, his son, he lost a bet to his son. So his son got to blow up something that he loved. So he blew up his 1946 fucking Hudson car.
what
It's
the
like super
fuck?
rare. Yeah, dude. Fucking, it pissed him off, but he
Is
had
this
to learn
for a
lesson.
show?
Yeah. Yeah.
That's retarded.
They strapped 50 pounds of fucking dynamite to it. He
Yeah.
shot it with
Wow.
a sniper rifle. Just fucking
That's-
disintegrated the car. It was awesome.
It's all for a show,
The
though.
body was
That's
so
stupid.
shit. The body was so fucked. There was
Oh,
nothing.
so it wasn't like
it wasn't
pristine.
a nice like.
No,
okay.
like, the dude has a problem. Like the guy with the dreads has a fucking problem. He just buys
Hoarding
cars.
shit.
Yeah, and like
Hoarding
won't
cars.
get rid of them. Shit.
Next up, we're
So anyway.
moving on to the fuck what you think, where we tell you to go fist fuck your mother and her dog. First up, we
And
have Cowboy Bebop. That's mine. This show sucks.
Oh,
Fuck you. Fuck you.
uh-oh.
It's
Did you watch the
sucks.
original?
Like the live
did you watch
action?
the
Yes, I
original anime?
watched. Yes, I did. I watched the original
What?
anime. It's the only anime that I've ever watched, and I think the show sucks because they're trying to follow the original anime too closely, and it's like watching it is like watching
Not too
people.
closely.
they're trying to play act an anime. They're trying to do or get these shots that are close to the anime, and their acting
That's
is
what the
stilted.
fanboys want.
It's
That's
stilted.
what we want, dog.
It's so stilted.
That's what Teddy will.
I mean, really. I mean,
That's
people.
what fanboys want, but fanboys don't make up the entire base of the population,
Right.
Teddy.
Fuck you,
Right.
fucking non-educational, ignorant motherfucker.
Okay. Non-educated.
Fanboys are.
It just doesn't have a flow to it like the anime does. It's just, it feels like it is handicapped by the fact, like, if they were doing an interpretation of it, I would like it better, but they're doing this fan service shit.
Probably why it got canceled.
That's my problem. An interpretation of it. It's an anime, and they decided to make it live action because the anime was so popular that they wanted to take it to a live action, which is a different media. So why would you not be as true to it as you could be? Why would
Because
you
the anime is way better.
You can't.
Because
Well,
it's
because
one
you
of a
can't
kind.
reproduce.
Yeah.
You can
Anime.
reproduce it, which is
No,
what the
you
show did,
cannot.
and that's
No,
why
you
it got
can't.
No,
canceled.
Teddy.
You can.
You can never
From live-
satisfy
from-
everybody, Teddy.
Yeah.
You can never.
I'm
Ever.
not saying you can't satisfy everybody. I am saying that
That's
you
exactly
can.
what you're saying.
I'm not. No. I'm not saying you can't satisfy everybody because everybody can't be satisfied. Fuck you, Mystic.
Right.
You know
So
I'm
then
drunk.
you
Fuck
can't.
you.
So then you can't reproduce.
I'm just saying that it's he's. It sounds like he's saying it because it too closely tried to convey everything of the anime. It didn't translate to live action. It's which is what the live action was trying to do.
Yeah, and they
Yeah, but
failed.
plenty of
Which was
shows-
a dumb
plenty
idea,
of
yeah.
shows have tried that and failed, Teddy, and this one failed. I mean, it got canceled, dude.
It got
Like,
canceled
you're
because
the
it was too
only person
expensive.
that I know that thought it was
so
good.
too expensive.
Because it was for what it did for the anime, it was so awesome. Especially like taking it into fact that the animes that Netflix, the live action animes that Netflix has on it, which suck. Fucking the Death Note sucks.
Yeah,
Fucking,
they
the
made
Bleach
the
movie
same
sucks.
mistake.
Cowboy
They made a whole different. It was a mistake.
Same
Fuck you.
mistake.
Fuck y'all. I'm muting myself. Fuck
Yeah.
y'all. I'm smoking weed. Fuck y'all.
Although, the funny thing is, like, you just gotta remind yourself, it's like we're just bickering over this bullshit. Like, all this money is being made to like make live action things of these previous anime things,
Right?
because we couldn't think of a better new original story.
You know what a good
No, it's because
adaptation
we
is?
couldn't tell those.
Why
stories
did they
without
have to make it
CGI.
live action?
Right.
Fuck it.
Because you can only.
Why
do
did they
things
have to
in
make
anime.
Jungle Book live action? Why did they have to
Teddy,
make Lion King
Teddy,
live action?
listen to what you said before. You said it. Your exact words were, they wanted to make it live action because the anime was so popular. What does popularity translate to, Teddy? Translates to money. Translates to money. They made the live action to make money.
Just to
and
cash
it didn't
in, yeah.
because it wasn't good enough.
Right.
There's your. That's all I'm saying. All right.
Next up, we have
Moving on.
Mystic with useful shortcuts.
Useful shortcuts. So, like, I'm learning this new software at work, and there's just dumb things that they don't do in the software that I feel, if you're trying to market your product towards news organizations as like a faster all-in-one alternative to fucking Avid or something else,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
then you need to have shortcuts that make sense for news fucking editors.
Right. And
Is
it's
Avid a
specifically marketed to news places, right?
Right. It is. Yes.
Yeah.
It's supposed to replace, it's like the competitor to Avid. Avid
Mhm.
Media Composer is like the standard for fucking, or was, has been for a long time,
Mm-hmm.
for news organizations. So this trying to do it, but like I said before, they have features that just make no sense. Like, you should be able to lasso all of the clips in a certain timeline and make them all a certain amount of time, make them all 4 seconds, or some things it does well, some things it just doesn't do right, and I don't understand. Just go talk to editors.
Mm.
You know what I mean? We'll
Mhm.
tell you,
Right.
like, fucking how to do it. It just makes
That's
oh man.
It's funny though. There's always kind of that gap between the people who engineer, whether it be the software or the hardware,
Right.
to do a task, and then the people who use that software or hardware to actually execute the task. And you're like, did you ever fucking think about what it takes to use this? You ever use your own shit?
Well, and that happens in every business, man. I saw it in restaurants all the time. I'm sure Teddy sees that shit too. You know, where like a corporate or like the head
shit about
like the head fucking like the head will like, you know, be like, oh, well, you guys can do this to this.
Just
and like,
do it this way. It'll be a lot easier.
You know how much more fucking labor that's gonna cost me, dude? No.
Yeah.
Fuck off. Anyway, sorry. That's all I got.
Next up, we've got Ashtray with fucking Adobe not opening new image file formats. WebP.
Fucking Adobe.
I don't even know what these are.
And my digestive system eviction. Yeah. Anyways, I don't know if you've encountered. You were saying, Mystic, you've encountered this one. And I've only noticed it literally within the last year, maybe. But this .heif file, people are like, oh yeah, got the picture, and they email this picture file. It's like, what the fuck is this? You know, well, drag it in Photoshop.
Thanks, Apple.
Can't open. Don't know. Yeah. Don't know what the fuck this is. Have to gotta goddamn Google it. Yeah. So it's like, okay, Adobe, you're supposed to be fucking number one. You got everybody now on the fucking subscription leash. Can you not at least open up the newest fucking file formats?
That could be Apple though, too, man.
Oh, I mean,
Apple
don't get me
so
wrong.
Fucking
it is Apple
ass proprietary
because
with their shit.
That's exactly where they come from. They're coming from the newest iPhones.
I know.
My point being, though, is why is it that I have to use GIMP? I have to use GIMP, the open source software.
Right.
And GIMP's like, yeah, we can open it. Well, yeah, go over here and you can export it to whatever you like there. Yep.
Wait, there's an open source software called GIMP?
Is GIMP?
GIMP.
Yeah,
GIMP?
it's like a Photoshop. Basically, it's a image.
Really? Named GIMP?
GIMP.
Yeah, I know it's a dumb name. It's like, you know, graphic image
Can't you just
manipulation.
convert it, dude? Don't you have a media converter?
You would think that you'd think the Adobe software would convert it.
Multi-billion-dollar company would have that.
No, I mean, can't you just download a free media converter? Like we have them at work.
Like there might be a specific converter. The thing is, what my converter is GIMP. So I just open GIMP, open it there, and then export it.
Convert it to,
Problem is, why should I have to use the open source image
right.
software?
Yeah. Right.
It's like,
well, it could be bureaucracy at Adobe too, man. You know what I mean? Bigger corporations have more hoops they got to fucking go through with everything.
Well,
and if those files, I only noticed those files like 2 weeks ago.
That's my point. They're new, but they're becoming a new pain in my ass.
Right.
Sons of bitches. Oh, speaking of pain in my ass, I got sick over this weekend. Had a bad ass holiday.
Will not stop fucking.
Moving on.
Let's pull the puke shot up.
Yeah, right. Pull up the puke shot. Anyways,
like why?
Why are we doing this?
All you've done is talk about yourself being sick. Like because
I don't have a girlfriend to complain to.
You guys are my why your wife
find a gay guy or something. I don't know.
Here we go. Here's the puke shot.
No.
No.
God damn it.
Hey, he's the one that show it. There we go. Blah.
There's a reason I mute the
Tuesday night.
I listen to my books.
Anyways, haven't eaten a full meal since. But
listen to my
couple beers seem to be all right on the old tummy.
Yeah.
So is it just food poisoning?
Well, that's what I thought, but then I heard from my friend that I guess what's going around is this weird, like there's a stomach virus or flu or something going around. I thought it was food poisoning from the holiday gig because it felt like food poisoning.
Yeah,
it's just like,
see, that's what me and my daughter got. See, I've been sick the last 2 days too, Ashtray, but I haven't felt the need to fucking incessantly tell people about it. Over Messenger.
You're missing out, man. You get
pictures.
You get a lot of people that bitch back at you.
Yeah, well, see, here's the thing. Like when I call in or something like that, I automatically think that people think I'm lying because I automatically think people are lying when they fucking do it. So,
oh yeah, we all automatically think that, and that's why I'd never call in, and that's how I got my coworker sick.
But now, now I kind of have to. You know what I mean? Like if I go in there coughing or anything like that, they're just gonna send me home.
Right.
'Cause I
Well-
can't even go back in there until my test comes back. my
COVID.
test.
True
Right.
though, the COVID
Even
gives
though it's not
everyone a
COVID, because my daughter had the same damn thing. She's the one that got me sick, and hers came back negative. So
yeah. It must be whatever this is, because that's where it's like
it just
must-
I threw up a
traveling
couple times,
easy.
and then I shit my pants for about a fucking day.
Nice.
Maybe
And then,
white people just carry disease that kills brown people. Maybe, maybe that's
Yeah,
the
right.
thing. You know, white
Right.
devils.
Next
And now
up,
I'm like super dehydrated.
we've got Teddy
Oh yeah, it gets all the water out you.
with Eric Clapton.
Okay, so Eric Clapton success.
Wonderful tonight.
Fuck it, I'm talking. Shut up. He successfully sued a 55-year-old German widow
Yeah, right.
because she tried to
Fucking good
sell.
for him.
Was she a Nazi?
No, she wasn't a Nazi. God damn it, you white people. Are
She
evil.
might have been.
She could have, possibly.
Been the-
She tried to sell a CD. Apparently, it was a bootleg CD on eBay for $11.
Damn.
She claimed she got the CD from her husband. She claimed her husband bought the CD in 1987 from a record store, but the courts didn't give a fuck. And so she was ordered to pay the court costs for her and Eric Clapton, which were about $4,000.
What the fuck? Really?
$4,000?
Oh
Right.
my god.
If she tries to sell a CD or get rid of it in the future, she can risk a fine of $250,000 to $50,000
Wow.
or like 6 years in jail.
Damn.
And my
So what
thing
the
is
fuck?
like
Why is it? Why?
because
Right.
Eric Clapton because of it was a bootleg CD and Eric Clapton didn't want it because of the I guess
Is
because
it like
it was a
what?
bootleg.
Is it the only one in
Oh my
existence, or like
God.
what?
I don't know if that's the case. I
Yeah,
think
almost- well,
because
if-
it said
if
bootleg.
he-
It sounds like somebody had a recorder in there or something. Because
Did
it
he
was
drop
it
the
was,
N bomb
Oh.
a few times or something?
Yeah,
no,
right.
it was just a bootleg CD. The recording
Oh,
was not
Against
sanctioned.
God.
So
Wow.
What the fuck?
Well,
right, and it was.
I get the
take- she didn't
impression
try to
that
sell it-
no
I'd
one's
take a
recorded
shit
it.
on it and mail it to him.
I mean, she
I get
didn't
the
try to sell
impression
it
though
for
that
the-
no one recorded it. Like if that's all of a bootleg and no one else has actually turned it digital yet, and that's why he's like trying to put the foot down on it. Because like
Just
why
sell
would
it
you
for
not?
It doesn't matter.
$10.
She tried to sell it for $11. Not
Give it to
not,
fucking.
not like
she should give it to
10,000 or
Goodwill.
put an
Where
auction
was
up
she
for it.
at? Where was this
In
at? Germany,
right?
that's
Germany.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Germany, yeah.
So think about it. Some old lady finds a CD. She's just like trying to get rid of shit. She doesn't realize that this
Right.
bootleg is maybe the only physical existence of this bootleg. Hasn't been put on the internet. So of course he's trying to just put his foot right on that shit.
I
But
guess.
how?
What's he
Why?
gonna
She
lose?
tried
He's
to sell
Eric
it for
Clapton.
$11. It didn't matter.
Yeah.
He's Eric
It's
Clapton.
Eric
No,
fucking
it-
Clapton, dude.
To him,
It's
the
Eric
Clapton,
Clapton,
he doesn't
exactly.
want it on the internet.
Oh my god.
Why not?
But why?
You're
Why?
Eric
Because it probably
fucking
sounds
Clapton.
terrible.
I hope that gets leaked on LimeWire.
Yeah, I hope she takes a picture of it and sells it as an NFT, and somebody pays her $150,000 for it.
Very awesome.
That's a
You know what I'm
great idea.
saying? Like
I saw a
fucking
meme
let's
recently
get
said NFTs are basically Pokemon for rich people.
that way. Right?
Have you heard about the Ubisoft NFT?
Yes.
No.
No.
Lame.
I have-
For Ghost Recon, it's if you play this game, which is not a good game, for 600 plus hours, you get a free NFT of this mask.
That's well. The thing is
Lame.
can't you make basically any kind of digital
Yes.
content into an
Yes,
NFT?
yes.
But it has to be one of a kind, so everybody gets their own
it does
mask.
not have to be one of a kind. Because this
Well,
mask proves
If you
because
think about it,
play
there are a
for
lot of
600 hours,
files
you
out there on the
know,
internet
it's
that are one
not
of a
in-
kind.
But it's not an NFT then,
Well,
because the whole purpose is that the owner then owns it. It's like a piece of art.
right? But
You know what I'm saying?
yes, but there you can own like there Monet did more
Basically,
than one piece of art. So you can
basically
own
you
more
own-
than
did
one
one
Monets.
original.
Right,
you
one original
digitally
of a
own it.
painting
Right.
Right.
can- there are more-
But what I'm saying is that one NFT is an original. It can't be, you know what I'm saying? Like they can't just give people the same mask. It has to be a unique fucking NFT.
Okay,
within
I
the
see.
within the
what
Okay,
you're-
Ubisoft
yeah.
environment.
I agree,
Yeah.
So
Still.
every mask has to be different. They can't just mass produce them. It's like ashtrays, lighters. You know what I'm saying? They're all different. Every single
right,
one.
but those
They're
are
all a
physical objects.
Right.
This
Yeah.
is
No.
an
Yeah.
ashtray
I get
lighter.
that part of it. I get that
Right.
part of it. I'm not saying it's not stupid. I'm just saying
Right.
that's the whole point. Is that you're buying something that can't be. That's a one of a kind. That's yours.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah. Yeah, well, especially if it's within a game environment, it's like, what's the point of like, who gives a shit if it's an NFT if we're all got the same Santa hat, you know?
Right.
Yeah. It's
Right.
not. It's not very. Yeah. It's not
Total
very.
way to rip
cool.
off gamers and everybody else.
Just another way to rip off
Right.
gamers, you mean?
Right.
Yeah.
Right. All right. So that's the show. Go fuck yourself. Random hotel, Canfield Hotel in fucking Dubuque,
Don't
Iowa.
you ever curse the Canfield, or the Canfield will curse you.
That's our show. We're going to be here every Thursday night or Wednesday at 10 p.m. Central. Make sure to join the conversation at theredeyereport.com or facebook.com/redeyereport. You can't twiddle us because we've been banned.
Teddy
for
is
too
going to
much
be restarting a
assholes.
Twitter after the new year. I'm going to
Do
be
it.
restarting a Twitter.
Okay, here we
You're
go.
not
Good.
gonna do that. You.
I
keep
am,
saying
I am,
you're gonna
I
do
am.
that.
You're gonna
I am,
slog.
I am.
And then when you leave it
I'm
up
not
to
going to
me,
slog.
then I
I'm not.
get
I'm
banned,
not.
so.
I'm going to start.
You're gonna
Twitter.
slog through the the pit of human bickerness.
Right.
The pit,
No, for me-
pit of bickering.
Twitter is such
It
a
is Twitter.
bitch fucking move, dude. Just do like a Reddit. Get like a Reddit subreddit
For
going.
me, it's just like going like waiting the currents of crazy white people.
Crazy
TikTok.
white
We should
people.
do some TikToks. Is what you should do.
No,
Oh, there you,
You and
go.
your
Yeah,
wife
Red
do
Eye
some
should try.
TikToks,
I'm not.
Eddie.
Everybody's
I'm not
switching.
putting that
Everybody's
goddamn
going to
China
TikTok right now.
fucking app on my goddamn phone. Okay.
It's funny.
not
The
working.
media is always
him to
referencing
start how to
TikTok
Oh,
now.
God. Here we go.
I don't want to, but I would be great if Teddy was on the TikTok.
Well,
Oh,
you
no.
can
TikTok and
twiddle
Teddy.
us at Teddy's fucking New Year's fucking Twitter account. We'll let you know what that is. Like us, share us, or fuck us. We're down for whatever. I'm Oracle.
This
Mystic.
is Ashtray.
Ooh.
I'm Teddy and I'm drunk.
Mystic slipped in there between my this and the ashtray.
And this is the Red Eye Report.
Mystic
I
always
totally
slips in that
forgot we
ashtray.
had finished the show. By the way.